What's going on, guys? So, what we're going to talk about is today, right? Because we just had major news that came out with Trump coming out to the markets saying that he's going to pause tariffs for 90 days. This this is crazy. You know, a lot of people is going to be extremely upset, and then I think the people that is actually controlling the economy is going to be extremely happy, right? Because I definitely believe something regarding the bond markets is what really helped him make that decision, along with a bunch of hedge funds and institutions, right, stating that we are going in a recession if this continues. Like that was the whole phase. Recessionary fears was the whole phase. I think he realized that people just wasn't believing him when he keeps saying that of the economy is going to boom left and right, because why would he fold so quickly? So it's something to focus on. But as of now, right, looking at what's going on with the equity markets, we could just see NASDAQ actually the highest, one of the biggest runs that we had in a while, US 30 and S&P. Not just that, you can see that the UK 100, Euro, and Germany pushing higher as well. So this is what helps, understanding that when we get a pause, right, in tariffs, what we see that is de-escalations. This is why we saw some upside in NASDAQ, right? This is where I took the buys on NASDAQ as well. But I understand that we get a lot of fake news, especially when it comes to Trump's comments. Like yesterday, we had a comment that came out beforehand, and I could just show you guys here, right? If I can find it. Yeah, one sec. Believe it's like was I believe it was yesterday, right? Or probably the day before. Oh, but even right here, you could just see they asked him on the 7th about pausing tariffs, and he was like, I'm not looking to pause tariffs, right? And then we got the BlackRock CEO Finn saying that tariffs will weaken the US dollar. Uh, we also had other, I think it was, we had Larry Fink right here. He says the 90-day tariffs, the pause was fake news. So that was crazy. So on the 7th, we had that headline. So it's kind of like they gave us a signal, right, that this was going to happen beforehand. Because why say it was fake news before and then now actually do it? So I think it just got leaked, right? It probably got leaked that they was deciding that for a while. Him saying, he said it today, where it was like, oh, we just thought about that decision for today. It was like complete bullshit, but we now with all of this going on, right? What we want to pay attention to over Asian session, because it's not just that, not everything is positive, right? Because he just added more tariffs, 125% tariffs on China affected immediately. So that's also going to cause more turbulence for the markets. It could, but I think it's impacting gold more, is making gold rise as a safe haven. So what we want to pay attention to just moving forward, because what I was explaining earlier, the reason for gold buys, we was right here in consolidation, and we started breaking out a structure, right, with these higher highs coming in place for gold, and we started rallying from yesterday, was because China came out and imported more tariffs in the US. So China started escalating these trade wars, and that's why we saw gold continue to order block and then break another high. We got another order block, and then we continue to break those highs. And then when it came down to tariffs, right, when Trump did the pause, we only had like this reaction. We only had a little reaction pushing lower, and then the markets recovered the whole move. So I believe that in order for gold to sell off, more likely gold investors is paying attention to China. So when China de-escalates and we see that becomes a non-issue, that's probably where we got to start seeing gold continue to break those lows. Okay. So even over Asian session right now, it's best to focus on market structure. If we could start breaking below these areas of support, that will probably signal more downside in the markets. That's where you could take advantage of some sells, right? If China de-escalates. But if we see that China escalates again, more likely they would without no agreement, we could probably see gold break above 3,100 and continue to break those highs. So those are the things that I will focus on when it's coming down to gold, right? But when it is this a crazy, it's just crazy, you know. But now when we're looking at the equity markets, I want to see some sideways price action, some consolidation. Maybe we could form a higher low, right? Right, that we could possibly look for some continuations, because it's a higher chance that in order to, you just don't want to be buying from the highs. So you just want to see a pullback, or you want to see sideways price action first before we start looking for those new highs to start forming, because a headline could change up anything at this moment. So patience is going to be key at moving forward, focusing on headlines. All right, guys. And the best way to do it is just like what I have in the private group, is getting access to just a news feed, right? So you could always be up to date with headlines no matter where you are and at any time. So just like an example, we got central bank speaker headlines. We even got the Secretary Lucknick speaking as well. And also the comments are here when Trump was speaking. You see Trump headlines coming in now. So that's how we stay up to date. Okay. And it's about understanding the headlines too. So moving forward right now, these comments positive for the equity markets, causing a risk on market until it doesn't. So be safe out there, trade safely, guys, and just wait for those reasons.